Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight we will be reading some creepypastas. For one example, we have the Rake here with us.
Whoa.
During the
Oh god,
summer
this
of
is gonna
2003,
suck.
events in the northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused on the rural New York state, and once found in Idaho, the self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with the creature of unknown origin. Emotions range from extremely traumatic levels of fright to discomfort, to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer recorded, the memories remain powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 2 dozen documents dating between the 12th century and present day. Spanning 4 continents, in almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book.
Oh, yay, a book.
A Suicide Note, 1964.
Damn.
As I prepare to take my life, I feel it
Oh, shit.
necessary to assuage my guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. For once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke and saw his form. Once again I awoke and heard his voice. I looked
Kid,
into his
stop.
eyes.
It's not me.
I cannot sleep without fear. For what I might next awake to my
Oh
spirit.
god! Oh god!
I,
Ow! Cat! Cat! Don't do that, man! Oh god! My cat broke my legs and my. Oh my
Okay,
god!
continue.
Fucking scary.
I cannot ever wake. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye. Found in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and one loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Linny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name. A journal entry, translated from Spanish, 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand. I will not sleep. His voice. Unintelligible text.
Well, this is the worst journal ever.
Yeah.
You must scroll down, my friend, further.
I am scrolled down.
A Mariner's Log, 1691.
Little bit
Scroll
up.
back up. He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. He took
God,
everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the Rake.
A rake. What a weird name.
Who
Can't
named
From a
him?
wait.
witness, 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very
Aw,
exhausted after a
nice.
long day of driving. So Jesus! Go away!
Going.
So my husband, Jesus!
Keep going.
So my husband, Jesus, and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten... Damn it, Luke! Had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake
What a
him in the
bitch.
process. I apologized and told him I thought he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up to the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing.
Cover hog.
Yeah, seriously.
After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what was causing the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man, or a large headless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something.
Oh, God.
For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. And no, you may not log out.
What? Log out.
No. Computer wanted to log out on me.
Oh hell no! Ain't no one got time for that.
My computer's going, well, that's scary. Nope.
Getting the fuck out of here.
In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right alongside the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The
Stop
creature...
it. Stop it, Nick. Stop it. Stop twitching. Okay. Yeah.
Just keep reading.
The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while, just looking at my husband. The creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hallway leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it, crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the Rake." My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. They did not survive.
Well,
No.
that was terrifying.
Oh, there's
It's
more.
not- it's
There's
not
more.
done.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
it's not done. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at
Scroll
first,
down
and
more.
the newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either.
Scroll down. There we go. Wait.
Oh, hello. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now refer to as the Rake. Go away! I don't care!
Keep reading.
Keep reading, I Bessie.
Took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believe to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. There, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of the series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan... Dang it. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the 2nd week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording 8 times at normal speed. It still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and now I believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up and see him staring at me.
Oh god, my phone vibrated the very second you ended. Oh god. The chills.
Okay, well, that's
I'm not
creepy.
sleeping tonight.
Yep,
All right.
neither am I.
well.
Thanks.
Well, no, my desk, there's a dark void underneath my desk.
Oh.
So it's like...
Don't say
Fuck
shit
you,
like
don't
that.
say
man.
that.
Come
No,
on.
no.
Now I'm thinking about it too.
Oh.
Just
What?
hands reach out.
Hold on,
and
let me
grab-
end it. Let me end it. Okay, well, that was terrifying. All of us are not sleeping tonight. Thank you, Henry.
None
for
of us
that.
are sleeping tonight.
Okay,
Yep.
it wasn't terrifying. The
It
actual
was
story
terrifying,
wasn't
man.
The story wasn't the story wasn't that scary, but
Now I
like
got the chills.
now when you think about it, it's scary.
Yes.
Mom, I have to sleep in your room tonight.
Okay, that's disturbing and creepy, and on that note, we'll end.